Thank you so much, Senior Director, Senior Secretary. Thank you so much for those remarks. The Honorable Mwafrika MP for Roysambu, Mr. I have a lot of things I'm referring to here. The Managing Director, Pontypridd, Anthony Wainaina. Director, Pontypridd, Stella Mputhia. Captains of Industry represented here. Representative of the EABL, Corporate Affairs Director, Ms. Caroline Arena, the GM Trade Logistics Transport at NCBA Bank. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening once more. Naomba tuzungumze pamoja, mnijibu, ndo tuendelee tumalize, si ndio? So good evening. Thank you, that's much better. I'm really honored to join you this afternoon, and I appreciate the leadership of Pontypridd for reaching out. I also wish to recognize the remarks by the representative of my colleague, because you will soon discover that we have a whole of government approach. Allow me to give apologies. I'm hoping maybe my colleagues will join in, but we were expecting my colleague in the ministry, Mr. Amos Gadesha, who is a PS for Public Service, also the PS for Wildlife, Madam Sylvia, and PS Transport, Taga. But we were all holed up in a meeting that I had to excuse and explain myself about 5 times from my boss, and said, I promised to be chief guest about 3 months ago. So I'm really happy I could make it, but please receive the apologies. It's just in the course of duty, these things come up. Allow me to also, before I go to my speech, to reflect on a couple of things. One is what I had Madam, is it Omari, reflect on. And I see, they always say boys in blue, but I can see girls in blue here. And one thing I've wondered over the years is, and which could explain what you're talking about, is every time you see a car with an L plate, who is in that car? It's a woman. Why do men not put L plates, L stickers on their cars? They don't, isn't it? They are afraid, you know, they are afraid to admit that they are actually learning. To them, it's a crime not to know. It's a crime to be seen learning. So there lies your answer, because women, I had my L sticker on for so long until I was told by my dad, when are you going to remove that sticker? But as a result, after several years of driving, I've not had a single accident. So maybe men should consider that. Try and just keep your L sticker on. Make mistakes, people will be patient with you, and then you learn. I've always wondered. So I think that is your answer. The other thing I want to reflect on are the stereotypes. I was whispering to Ms. Mputhia here that your MC is those people when they are driving, they see a slow car, they say it's a woman. Mama, akona hiyo gari. It sounded. You agree? Perfect. And you know, I think I'm an example of the opposite of that stereotype. One thing you might want to know, looking at me, if I was to ask you, what do you think my personal car of choice is? Yes. One guess. One guess. A BMW. See, he stereotyped me as a soft, comfort-seeking woman. But I'll tell you, I actually drive a pickup truck. Yes. I have witnesses. A big pickup truck, a Ranger. So I get those stereotypes. I'm not saying this because I want to tell you what I care, but it's the stereotypes. When you're driving and your car is tinted and you arrive somewhere and you roll down the window and you jump out, you can just see people are like, who is this? So women have moved on. And when we see women, they can do anything. Gender equality, gender mainstreaming is actually making women catch up. I was asking Stella, and she did not know why I asked her this. What do you use to secure your cargo in your logistics lorries? And she told me seals. So what I'd like to share, my relationship with the logistics and transport industry started a long time. My first job, right after university, my very, very first job, even before I graduated, was to sell seals. Seals. And I would go with very many to the big companies and convince them that you need these seals to secure your trucks. And I remember the person I worked for, she actually bought my graduation suit. And then I quit selling seals after that. So those were my preliminary remarks, just by way of interacting with what we've been hearing here. And it has really been a great pleasure. So I am honored to join you all today for the opportunity to address you during the launch of She Delivers initiative by Pontypridd Holdings Limited. She Delivers is a subject that holds great significance for my State Department of Gender and Affirmative Action, as it aims at highlighting and improving the role of women and girls in society, and in this case, the transport and logistics sector in Kenya. This event aligns with Kenya's government's aim of promoting the economic empowerment of women as outlined in the Kenya Kwanza Government Women's Charter. It also aligns with the 9-point priorities for the government for women, the first of which is women economic empowerment. I therefore wish to commend the management of Pontypridd and all the staff for putting it together. The logistics industry has traditionally been regarded as no place for a woman. This is true by the data available on various studies that show women are massively underrepresented in the industry, despite the high number in the Kenyan population and labor market. While women are as capable as men of working in the logistics sector, most are not attracted to it, often because of the stereotypical view that the sector is masculine, better suited for strong males who can operate heavy machinery, drive huge trucks, and stay away from home for extended periods. I wish to pause on that and mention that one of the ways we are addressing this is the government is in the process of reviewing and updating a women economic empowerment policy and addressing issues such as domestic and care work, which address issues around time use policy. I was having a discussion again with the director of HR, so you can see we were talking serious things. I was having a conversation with the director and I was asking her, what are the impediments of women in this sector? Is it that you don't hire them? Is it that they don't apply? Or what is it? And she mentioned that in most cases, the women shy away. So this is a great initiative. And she highlighted to me all the measures that Pontypridd has taken to ensure that we cater. It is not a crime to want to be a driver, but to still execute your nurturing responsibilities. It is not a crime to want to be a driver or a mechanic and still have time away for other responsibilities. So the issue with gender equality, creating equal and equitable environment, it's about creating a conducive environment so that both women and men can work in any space that they want to, but within the set conducive arena. One example of that is, for instance, marketplaces or corporate companies have created creche for babies so that I can go to work and come with my baby. I can go to work and live with someone with my baby. So it is us to respond to our unique needs, not to push away women because of our unique needs. And while on heavy machinery, I really hoped that my host would have given me a chance to drive a truck, just to move it, just to know how it feels to be behind that big monster. So furthermore, evidence from an industry survey suggests that the logistics sector is synonymous with features and practices that create barriers to encouraging women to join and retaining women already in the industry. These include discrimination, an unsupportive work environment, sexual harassment, cultural and social barriers, all combined with a lack of information about the industry that, if available, might serve to attract female staff. 5 forms of discrimination have been identified, such as pay gap. I did not ask whether men drivers and female drivers are paid the same, because I respect that this is a private sector initiative. And we as government are so proud that we can have the private sector supporting women economic empowerment, supporting closing the gender gap by initiatives such as this. So men are paid more than women for doing the same job, and this has been statistically proven. There is also the metaphorical glass ceiling, an invisible yet present barrier that prevents women from being promoted in favor of men who may be less suited to their position or even less competent. So I'll say this to the women drivers who are here. No, I'll start by complimenting the men drivers so that they don't feel like I'm hitting them. One of the things I would honestly say as a user of Mombasa Road, all the way down, male truck drivers are easily the most friendly road users. They'll always pause for you to join the road. They'll always create room. If you're overtaking, they will move their big truck a little bit to the side so that you can come in. They will always use their indicators to show you that, no, it's not safe to overtake. So we appreciate them for that. For the part of the women, when we talk about a glass ceiling, unfortunately, sometimes it is self-imposed, where you feel that you cannot rise up, where you cannot question things. So it is up to us to also, no one gives you anything for free. I appreciate Pontypridd for this initiative of bringing in women without being asked to. For us in government, gender mainstreaming is a requirement. It's a performance contract indicator. I want to see how many women have you promoted? How many women have you retained? How many women did you hire against men? How youth, brackets, it's an indicator. But for private sector, it's just responsiveness and alignment to government priorities. And for that, we really acknowledge and applaud you. Thank you. They truly deserve a clap. A seat at the table is the other issue. A lack of consultation with women when the industry negotiates with government and regulatory bodies. Do we have conducive environment for the women drivers? Secondly, an absence of anti-discrimination guidelines in the workplace. Discrimination is a workplace bias that sees women as better suited to low-paid clerical positions. I was therefore pleasantly surprised looking at the various screens, noting that we have women in HR, we have women in mechanic, we have women in the procurement, we have women behind the wheel, we have women all around, and that's really a commendable thing. The Constitution of 2010 recognized gender equality, granting different genders equal protection, benefits, and equal treatment, including the right to equal opportunities in the political, economic, and cultural and social spheres. However, in spite of having the supportive frameworks, women are still unable to make key decisions that impact their lives and communities. It takes self-driven initiatives such as She Delivers to right what has been a continued wrong. What is the government doing to bridge the gap? The government has entrenched gender mainstreaming in all ministries, departments, and agencies to promote engendering all the programs, including but not limited to gender-responsive budgeting, recruitment, developing internal policies to address gender discrimination and harassment. It also endeavors to formulate policies, enact laws, and regulations to promote and integrate gender perspectives in the design, implementation, and monitoring of programs and projects. This is geared towards the realization of political and socio-economic growth for urban and rural women. One other question I asked Stella was, what is the percentage of women in the company? And upon her answer, I asked her further question, what is the percentage of those women in senior leadership position? And what are we doing as government? Just this week, I've been away out of town to deliberate on the implementation of the not more than 2/3 gender that has evaded us from the time we promulgated the Constitution, finding a formula. We have political will, a president who is determined to ensure this happens, and we are really positive that this time round we will get it right. Thank you. That's the benefit of always identifying a fan in the audience. So, thank you, MC. The bottom-up economic transformation agenda, commonly known as BETTER, together with advancing the President's 9-point agenda on women, commits to gender equality and women empowerment. Re-engineering of the Women Enterprise Fund is geared towards making access to affordable credit by MSMEs attainable. If you dial on your phone *254#, you will find the government's financial inclusion platform, which houses the Hustler Fund, the Women Enterprise Fund, and the Hustler Group Loan. What can the industry do to bridge the gap? A recent survey on the logistics sector came up with some recommendations the industry players can come together and do. These include formation of a vibrant Women in Logistics Association, arrange an annual logistics career and training expo to create awareness on career opportunities and demystify the myths, establish annual industry gender awards, initiate a He for She in Logistics campaign, and lastly, create a gender equality and women's empowerment campaign. With those few remarks, I want to now declare the She Delivers campaign launched. Thank you so much for your attention.
Allow me, Madam, yes, to ask that you move forward to that area. Mr. MD. It's the director. Sorry, the director for HR, Madam Puthia. I'll need you to stand there, and you are now unveiling the actual. And after you unveil, please move to the side because there's a pyrotechnics that will come in after that, immediately after that. So just unveil it first. Cameramen, are you ready? Members of the state, are you ready? Ready? I'll tell you when. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Well, switch on, members. Switch on, members. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Where is my microphone? I wanted to say something here. I would like you to use the microphone and say now loudly that you have now launched the She Delivers.
So the Pontypridd Holdings She Delivers program is officially launched, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause.
Can I have the interns? Interns, please come and stand with the PS. All interns, please come. This is a great day because, as we said, we shall say we were here. We were here. All clap for the interns as they come. These are the guys. We're going to benefit from this wonderful, wonderful program.